It is the holiday season, and one thing I love is hearing brand new holiday music. So, Shanrae, you have this incredible single coming out. We're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes. But first, for people who might not be familiar with you, with your storied career, really, talk to us really quickly about your journey through music. I know that you've shared the stage with a lot of really cool, famous musicians.
Yes, I am. I'm a veteran in the music industry. I started when I was in my teens, and I've had the pleasure to work with artists such as Mariah Carey, Gloria Estefan, and the list goes on and on and on. So I started out as a professional background vocalist, and I've been in the industry for well over 30 years.
Wow.
I've recently become a single artist. I'm an indie artist. And so I released my first album 2018 called Long Time Coming. But I have had the pleasure of just sharing the stage with so many awesome people, being on tour with Puff Daddy and different people like that. So, and for those of you all that may not know, a lot of you do know, I am the sister, the elder sister of Kelly Price,
Mm.
the R&B artist. And so, like I said, this has been my career for well over 30 years.
And clearly, music means a lot to you. Talk to me about how you found yourself making your way into the music world in the first place. What drove you there?
Well, my roots, I come from Christian background, so I've been singing my entire life.
Mm.
The Price sisters, my mom was, you could say, informally my manager. My sister and I manager for, and we traveled and sang from age 2 and 3. We would go and do concerts. We would pack out shrine theaters in Boston, like at age 15 and 16, again on the Christian side, the gospel side. And so we grew up in the church denomination called Church of God in Christ, and we sang for years. And so when we kind of moved over into the secular industry, people in the secular industry actually knew about the Price sisters. And that's how we actually started working with Mariah Carey. It's a really phenomenal story. If I have time, I will go on and I will tell you all it. But it's just been a wonderful journey, a wonderful
Absolutely.
journey.
Well, and clearly you love what you do, and that is the most important thing. And I feel that you need to love what you do to drive that creative side of you. And you talk about being an indie artist, kind of making your way out of that field with, the bigger artists and doing your own thing. Tell us about that transition. What led you to go that route?
Well, honestly, it was a lot of radio, radio people that started calling me and started really challenging me to step out as an indie artist. I would drop a single here and there, but my husband and myself, we were raising our children. They're now grown. We call them our grown folks, and so I kind of stepped away from the music part of my career to raise my children. I'm so glad that I did. And we were working in the church sector, raising our children. Our children are always an active part of it. Our family worked in music together. And people from radio started calling me and asking, when am I going to put something out? And so, you don't want to say that you're going to do something and don't do it. So I would say, well, I guess I'll go on and I'll write a song and drop a single. This started about 2009.
Oh, wow.
2008, 2009. And so then, I was on an interview and they were like, well, when? And so I had to give them a date, which was maybe like 9 months out. And so I was like, oh gosh, I got to get started. So my husband and I, because my husband produces, he works with me with my music. I'm so grateful for that. And so we went ahead and dropped the single 9 months later. Then more interviews started going, well, when are you going to drop something else? And I was like, and so that putting me on the spot, I was like, I guess I'll drop another single in another 9 months. And so it started going from there. Then the radio directors and the radio hosts started asking, well, when are you going to drop an album? And I was like, oh, shucks, an album. And I had to go on and give them a date. And so we really had to start working on that. And I was like, oh, wow. I said 2018. They said, when? I said, the top of the year. And they said, okay. Well, so I had to give them a date, January 18th. And we started working aggressively towards that, getting our videos out, because we like to do visuals along with the music, and started getting our people together, our band together. And 2018, January 18th, well, 20th, but it came out 2 days prior. My first indie solo, album dropped, long time coming.
Okay.
And I mean, it's just been really amazing from there. And anyone who knows about independent artists, you are everything. When you're not signed by a label, you have to be ready to be everything. You're not just the artist, but you're also the business entity, the marketing, the promotion. You have to do everything. So it's really intense, but it's very, very rewarding. Very, very.
Oh, sure. And knowing that you have full creative control over what you choose to do. And even if, the radio program directors and everybody were like, come on, release more, you are the one at the end of the day who is in control of, no, I'm not ready to release this yet. I'm not going to force myself to push myself creatively when I'm not quite there yet. That's got to be so freeing for you at the end of the day.
I have not done that yet. Whenever they've challenged me, I've met. Thank God, I've actually met the challenge. I have not. There's been a couple of times where I've had to push the date back
Okay.
a little bit, just a little. And that was due to maybe like little technical things here and there. But I'm grateful to. I'm really happy to say that I've been able to meet the challenge when people challenge me. And music, like you said, you have to love what you're doing, and like what you're doing as a radio host and director. I know you love what you're doing. I know you do, and so it has to be a passion. And that's just something that's just inbred, been a part of me my whole entire life. I can't see myself not being an artist.
Yeah. I think honestly, once it's in you, you never lose that spark.
Right.
And, if you, what do they call it with the Maybelline commercials? Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's just an artist. I don't know.
Oh, I love that. That is an awesome saying. You're right.
I hope I don't owe Maybelline any money because of that, but you get the idea. Like once it's in you, you never get rid of it. And let's talk then about your creative process. What is it like to know, okay, I want to put out a song, whatever, a holiday or something else. What's the process that you go through to kind of put this together?
Honestly, y'all know I'm a Christian, so that's my roots. I'm not the type of person that'll just write a song. I have to sit and I have to get centered, and I'll meditate, I'll pray, and I'll ask God to show me what do you want me to say. And I'll sit there and I'll get in a quiet place, and then the words, I can start hearing them, and I'll start writing them down. And a lot of times when that happens, I'm able to write an entire song. Sometimes I'll finish most of the song and then have to come back to it a day or two later and then finish the song, kind of edit it and to tighten it up. But I don't write music every day. I don't write music every month or every 3 months. It's just whenever I'm inspired to write it. And then a lot of times I hear the medley when I'm writing it, or other times I will run the lyrics across to my husband and say, "What do you think about this?" And he'll say, "Give me a minute," or give me a couple of hours. He'll go into his studio and start playing. And he'll come back and send it to me and say, "What do you think?" And then we'll sit and we'll brainstorm together. And I'm like, "Oh, now that's going to be nice. That's going to be nice." So that's the process right there. Again, Prince, the artist Prince, he said something that I was so awestruck years ago during the interview. He said that his prayer was that he would write a song every day of his life. And I was like, wow.
Whew.
That's phenomenal, to be able to write a song every day of your life.
Oh, yeah.
And life happens. And so to be able to sit down and be able to write a song every day of your life, Me, if I could write a song once a week or once a month, that would be, because life happens. I wear many of hats. I'm an artist, but I'm also a counselor. I'm a teacher. I'm a this, that, and the other. So with everything going on, to be able to sit down creatively, and I mean the creative wheels are always turning with me, but to be able to fraction out that time to sit down, because you need time to write a song, whether you're a poet or you're a playwright or a film writer or a lyricist. You still need time. You need that time to sit down and to create and to write, and make sure whatever comes out, that it's an awesome piece that you're delivering to the people. So yeah.
No, you seem you're very proud about what you put out there. And I think that that's important for an artist to feel confident and secure and proud about what they make and what they put out there. And, then I think that that translates into performing it live as well. What does it feel like being up on the stage? Now, I am somebody who gets a little bit of stage fright, but what does it feel like being up on the stage? You're walking out there and the lights are on you and you see all these eyes on you and you're performing your own original music. Talk to me about what that feels like for you.
I, like you, get stage fright.
Really?
I have never, I mean, I still to this day, all of these years later, I get stage fright.
Huh.
So I have to close my eyes and I have to meditate. And then when the lights come on and everything, I have to find me a focal point. So I have to make it seem like I'm looking at the audience, but what I'm actually doing is I'm looking at a certain focal point until I can calm down and get a little comfortable. Because I get stage fright, just like you.
Really?
And I've never outgrown that. Never. But I love what I do. And so it takes me about a good 30 minutes before I can kind of calm down.
Chill
you
out.
know uh, but it's amazing. It's frightening and it's amazing, to share your creativity with people, because again, you don't know if people will accept it or like what you're doing, what you're delivering. And that's sharing a private or personal part of you, because a lot of times when you're writing a lot of times something that you've experienced, or something that someone else experienced that's close to you, and you're putting it in a lyric form. And so you just don't know. And then when you arrange it, it's easier to sing a song that's already put out there. Like for instance, Whitney Houston's The Greatest Love of All. It's easy to re-sing someone's song, but the person who created it, arranged it, delivered it to you authentically and originally. You don't know how people are going to welcome, accept, or reject your music, your creativity. So you have to, it's a you got to be brave to share your creativity with people,
Yeah.
because you just never know how they're going to take it. Right.
You're brave to do that. I mean, you have been out there, you've been doing this for decades at this point, and you have been pushing on. I would love to know about your support system, because obviously you and your husband are like, a practical Simon and Garfunkel or whatever, find your, typical writing duo here and put them
Right.
together. But really, it seems like you and your husband lean on each other a lot creatively. Who else, though, inspires you to put together your music and your performances?
Well, I lost my mom a couple of years ago. My mom, she was the original cheerleader. The original cheerleader. My mom, again, she was our, like you could say, informal manager. She's the one who trained my sisters and myself. She's the one who got us out there. And so my mom was my inspiration. We were blessed to be around a lot of great Christian gospel artists growing up, like the Clark sisters and the Winans and different people like that. And then we also listened to a lot of great artists growing up, such as Patti LaBelle and, of course, Gladys Knight. My mom, one thing I loved about her, she taught us growing up. She said the greatest artists or the greatest singers, vocalists, are those that can sing without music.
Mm.
And so she would shut the music off, and she would teach us to sing by, of course, by memory, and by sing and make sure our harmonies were tight, make sure whatever solos that we were doing, that we were on beat, we were on rhythm, we stayed on tone, on medley. And so a cappella, she said some of the greatest singers are a cappella singers. She said she taught us some of the greatest singers are those that can listen to a piece of music, listen to it, once or twice, and then sing it and master it.
Wow.
And so my mom was always one of my biggest inspiration. She was a great singer herself. A great singer herself, and she just instilled everything that she had. She instilled it in my sisters and myself, and then went from there. And then I was blessed again to marry a wonderful, wonderful husband who plays multiple instruments, and he stands by me and supports me. He's the one who actually pushed me and to start writing when we first, way before we married. He said, your sister's not the only one that can write music. You write too. And I was like, because I was so used to being in the background. I was like, I don't think so. He said, try it. Try it. And I started trying. And he would look at it and he would say, this is awesome. And he would read it back to me. He said, how did you put this together? And he was like, I'm going to go put some music to it. He was like, this is a great song. So he was the one that inspired me and pushed me to start writing. And then we would go from there. Wow. Yeah. So, and then our grown folk, we call them our grown folk because our children are 30, 28, and 26. Okay. So they come right in and they're musically inclined as well. We trained them, they play and they sing as well. So when we get together, I love when we get together, especially on holidays, and they're like, oh gosh, here we go, mom's gonna make us sing, we'll go live. And yes, and so we all come together, and I told them, I said, it's just nice to be nice. I said, you don't know who you're blessing or who you're helping bring cheer to their lives, so let's just sing, guys. And so they do it, even now they'll do it. And so that, and my family, of course, my cousins, and my aunts and my uncles, they're so supportive. They really are. They're like, Cheree, because at one point I was going to kind of retire. It's a lot going on in the music industry right now. It really is. And so I was going to kind of retire, and it was like, please don't. My sisters, from my husband's side of the family, they would call me. We don't live in the same states, but they would call and say, oh my gosh, I ran across some of your music on YouTube and I was just listening to it. Whatever you do, please don't stop. And I'm like, it's a lot going on in the music industry right now. They're like, please don't stop. We need to hear this type of music. And I just get so much encouragement from my family and my friends. I call them my God-given friends, and everything. So I have a very strong support system, and I'm so grateful for that.
And that is necessary, I think, to get anything done anyway, but especially in an industry like the music industry, which can really tear you down and beat you down after a while. I mean, you talk about a lot going on in the music industry. That's kind of an understatement, frankly. Honestly, just having those people behind you, that your core people being like, all right, I know you're tired, just kind of keep going. And your faith in God, I'm sure, is a big driver in that as well. And, let's kind of segue from that into Christmas. Right? Christmas is such an important time of year for Christians and just really for all of us to celebrate and be with our family and be with our loved ones.
Right.
What's special about Christmas to you?
Again, like you said, it's a time of cheer, joy, and happiness. There is a lot going on in the world, period. But when we can pause, like the month of December, whether you're Christian or you're Jewish or whatever, the countdown, of it, the 25 days of Christmas or Kwanzaa or whatever, how we take each day leading up to the 25th of December, and we take a day and choose to celebrate, do something joyous or cheerful out of each day. We're now in day, what is the third of December, so it helps us reflect on something positive, something cheerful. I love the month of December. And then, of course, the decorations, and depending on where you live in the country, the weather, the snow, and all of know,
So
I live in the
fun.
South now, so we don't really get snow, thank God, because I grew up in New York where we got a lot of snow.
Well, you don't have to shovel it, so lucky for you. I mean, here in
Right.
Boston, we haven't had any snow yet this year, but I know, give it like a month, and I'm
Oh,
going to be
yes.
sitting out there shoveling like, ah. But,
Right.
but when the snow first falls, it is so pretty, and it's ethereal, and it glows and it glimmers, and you look out the window and you've got your hot cocoa in your hand, or your
Oh,
whatever, and you just
oh,
feel this sense of peace, right?
yes, that's what it's about. And then knowing that we're getting ready to go into a new year and celebrate newness. And we can always start over again. And we can just, put whatever behind us. I know there's life is full of ups and downs, but if we can reflect on the ups rather than downs, and again, like, well, people start Thanksgiving. So they start Thanksgiving, you start seeing the Christmas cheer starting in.
Early, but okay.
Listen, they start really early, which
Hmm.
is fine. I love it. Just to go and see the decorations, it's like, oh, it just brings happiness and cheer to you. And even if you legitimately have a reason to be down, when you see the holiday decorations, when you see the people smiling, they have the different festivities going on depending on where you live. And if you can get out and be a part of it, it just helps lighten everybody's mood. I love Christmas. I love it. And then to hear the different expressions musically, and poetically in different ways, to hear the different versions of Jingle Bells or something. Music wise, I love it. And even the original versions. Of course, I started watching all of the different shows on television, like, the celebrities like Dolly Parton and Kelly Clarkson. They're starting their Christmas shows. And of course, they did the in New York, the lighting of the Christmas tree. That ceremony, I loved it. That version, that was beautiful. And so just to see the different cheer that's going on and listen to the new Christmas music coming out. Oh, it's just so light. It makes your heart so light and everything.
And it's
Yeah.
very apparent when you're doing your Christmas music. I mean, I've heard some of your tracks before, and it's very apparent that you love the holiday season and that
Oh,
you
yes.
bring this joy into everything you do when it comes to your holiday music. And you have a new song coming out. It's called The Ultimate Gift. Talk
Yes.
to me about how this all came together. I mean, it's just coming out, it's brand new here, but let's give people a bit of a sneak peek about what they can hear.
Well, it's very much a Christian song. And I actually wrote this song about 20 years ago. And I wrote it when my family and I, we were working with our church, a very pretty large church here in Atlanta. And of course, we do Christmas cantatas and everything. And so we were over the music department, and I introduced the song to them, and they sang it, and it was beautiful. It went along with the play, and it was they ran the play for a while. People would come in and we would sing the song. And so recently, people have been contacting me saying, are you going to put the song out? That song, I put it out years ago, and it was like, the song was just so touching and amazing. And I was like, really? I'm gonna be honest. This song, I was not very secure in with this song. I felt like, but I just keep hearing people keep contacting me saying, please put it out. This song, you don't know what it means when I hear it. And when I used to hear it and I can't find it, like maybe the CD broke from years ago. And because I really didn't push it because I was very insecure about the song years ago. And so my husband sat down and talked with me. And he said, listen, you don't know who this is going to touch. We need to put the song out. And he said, I know that you're not very secure with this song. He said, but it's beautiful. The words, everything is beautiful. Put it out. And so I said, all right, I'm going to go on and redo it. We redid it. And it is dropping. It'll be out in the next 10 days. And so it's called Jesus, the Ultimate Gift. And it's just talking about those of us that are Christians, and it's just talking about, how that's the best gift that you can get is the gift of Jesus Christ. And it's just really solemn and sweet. So when you hear it, I really hope that you enjoy it. It's really, peaceful, and it's not a lot of lyrics to it, but it's just it's to help you all understand that the best gift that you can get is the gift of Christianity, of love in life. That so.
Well, and I think that's your own little gift of spreading the Christianity, of spreading the love and the care of Christmas time. This is your gift to the world this Christmas, and showing us a little bit of peace and a little bit of calmness in a time that's really, everything's a little all over the place right now. So we could all
Yeah.
just use a moment, 5 minutes or so to just sit back and go, ah,
Yes.
yes, I feel that love.
Drink
Yes,
some
I feel that too.
cocoa, drink a
Ah,
cup of cocoa and
warm
listen
hug.
back and right and listen to it. If you have a fireplace, put your fireplace on and just sit down and listen to it. It just helps you center and helps if you just want to meditate and listen to it. That's, but I really hope that you all enjoy what you hear when you hear this song. Yes.
Oh, well, you've clearly worked so hard, and thank you for overcoming your insecurities. Look, I know what it's like to be somebody who's insecure about what they do and what they put out. And it's really difficult at times to overcome that. But when somebody on the outside looks at you and says, you have a gift, you have this beautiful gift, please share it with the world. I'm grateful that you listened because we need people like you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I love what I do. I love what I do. And those that are listening, I want to encourage you. Don't talk yourself out of anything. Everyone has a gift. Nichole, your gift is your voice to the listeners I-Heart Radio. And I know when they tune in, they're like, oh, there she is. I've been waiting to hear her all day long,
Thank you.
with that. And so guys, don't talk yourself out of what gift that you have. I know it may seem like whatever area you're talented in, it may be feel like it's a crowded area, but no, it's not. Remember, everything that you have, it's unique. It's unique. So no one, it may be similar, your gift may be similar to other people, but that people they can't do what you do. Like Nichole, no one can present your music and your station the way Nichole does it. And so don't talk yourself out of doing whatever you do, your gift. Please share it with the world. And I have to continue to tell myself the same thing. I go on and continue to share whatever gifts that we have with the people that are around us, So.
Well, you are such a blessing, and I am so grateful to get to know you and talk to you. And
Oh,
I am very excited for your song and your new single for the holidays. I think it's exactly what we need this Christmas. So if people want to find out more about you, if they want to learn more about your story, they want to listen to your other music, where can they find you?
you can YouTube me, Shanrae Price, Shanrae Cheree Price, or Shanrae Price. YouTube me. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But YouTube is the best. So you can Spotify me as well. And so I have a long history. Google me. Google Shanrae Price. You're gonna see a long history of my work, the people that I've worked with, my own individual works. Again, I am a veteran in the industry, so I have been doing this 30 plus years in the music
Let's hopefully
industry.
get you going 30 plus more. We need you
Oh,
around. So, oh
thank
goodness, I'm
you.
so grateful for you. All right. So, Shanrae Cheree Price, thank you for your time today. Again, good luck with the new single and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you too, Nichole. Thank you for sharing your platform with me. God bless you. And I'm telling you, things are just going to explode for you.
Likewise, likewise, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.